But I love that, the brotherly love, Rosie. You ever scrapped your bro?
No, it's funny when you're talking about that. Like I played with my brother in junior, which was nice. But in order to make that team, we had this black and gold game where you haven't cut it down to the final roster yet, and you got two teams going. And at the time, it was kind of like the black and gold game. It was like the first real hockey game of the season, and a lot of the people from the town came out, so it was a decent crowd. And at that time, we had a lot of local kids on, which the team was kind of craving for a long time. So lots of people came out, and my brother's a couple years older than me, and just kind of a center ice dumping or whatever. He kind of maybe stood me up a little bit, and we just kind of hit, no big deal. And I think we were both about to kind of change, and I kind of gave him a little push after, and then he was like, no, 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 I get the last shot. And so he gives me a push. So then I'm like, well, and then he gave him a little jab, and then he comes over with a two-hander, boom. And long story short, we are standing right in front of the benches, just axe swinging at each other's ankles, and it gets higher and higher around each other's waists and stuff. And then we're both like, well, we don't, like, we're not actually going to go, are we? But everyone was stopped looking at the Rosehill brothers tomahawking each other. And I remember we got home that day, and my dad's like, in this room now, and he sits us both down, and he's like, you guys do that kind of shit is no problem with me. You do it together. You stick up for each other. You go after the other guys doing that shit as a team. I never want to see that again. I was sick to death looking at that shit. And we were just like, sorry, Dad. But luckily we never had to actually dust each other, because I don't think either one of us would be holding back just for a lifetime of bragging rights on the line.
How old were you guys for that?
I would have been 17. He would have been 19.
Fuck, that's incredible. How old were you when you had your first scrap, by the way?
Um, like actual real scrap, I probably would have been 17. You
Yeah.
have your old cage rages in midget
Yeah.
and bantam and whatnot. They really don't count, but actually playing junior and I guess I would have been 16 years old. I remember this. It was a 20-year-old at the time. I was trying to make the junior team before I went to midget AAA. I ended up not making it and went back to midget, but this 20-year-old wanted to go at me, and we were wearing like these pinny jerseys, like those thin little ones for
Yeah.
like a preseason type thing, and it just shredded off of me, and I got free and just shit pumped this guy. And for the rest of the year, for that 20-year-old, my brother and the guys that were on the team were just laying it to him, saying a 16-year-old shit pumped him. So that was my first experience that actually went positive. But my first experience in league play, I got punched right here, and there's a big star split. I remember feeling like, okay, that's what that feels like. I better pay attention during this kind of stuff.